The Han Dynasty has fallen and China is in disarray. Three major powers have arisen from the ashes of the past to vie for control of the land. Feudal lords are keen to seize the moment, take control of the Wei, Wu, or Shu, and unite the nation under one banner. It will take a keen leader and a savvy commander to come out on top in Three Kingdoms Redux. Three Kingdoms Redux takes an epic subject and distills it into its purest form. It boils down a grand conflict into a battle of control. A lesser game would have watered down the experience to make it understandable, whereas Three Kingdoms Redux makes it eminently approachable. By taking control of one of the three feudal lords, it's your goal to unify China under your rule. You'll do this by sending your generals to different spots on the board according to the actions you'd like to carry out. Actions vary from gathering and training armies to developing farmland and exerting influence over the emperor. But it wouldn't be much of a war if you could just do what you want. Each action space on the board can only be taken by one faction per round. When multiple generals occupy a spot, only the faction with the highest combined strength will be able to take the action. Yes, Three Kingdoms Redux is a bidding game. The tension is high and the stakes are even higher. But how can a bidding game capture the brutality of war? It does so by not focusing on just a single battle, but zooming out to get a grand picture of the entire conflict. War isn't just a military ordeal, it affects the entirety of your nation. You must develop your economy and farm system, as well as maintain diplomatic relationships with the local tribes if you aim to emerge victorious. Three Kingdoms Redux is different by the very fact that it's a three-player only game, but its three-part nature is also what makes it special. Each of the three factions have different starting positions and an array of unique generals. The Wei start with more generals but less resources and will grow weaker over time. The Shu starts with the fewest generals but the most resources and the support of the people, while gradually increasing in strength. The Wu plod ahead with good balance throughout the game. This imbalance of power creates a dynamic which may seem unfair, but it makes way for a clever solution. The two players who controlled the least action spaces in the previous round will be bound together in an alliance. This allows for these players to combine their bids in a single action space, which is usually enough to scare off the other player. Each round plays out in similar fashion. You place your generals in the action spaces in turn and carry out the action spaces which you've won. Bidding can get tense and cutthroat, but what really breathes life into the game are the various generals and their associated powers. Each faction has a roster of unique generals that each have a special ability. These can range from breaking ties to trading goods or earning extra gold. Working out how to best leverage your general's capabilities is the most difficult yet rewarding elements in the game. Mentally keeping track of all the generals and their abilities as they're introduced might be overwhelming in a less well thought out game. If Three Kingdoms Redux is anything, it's well thought out. You see, it's not enough to simply win a battle. You must also commit your general and his forces to occupy the region for the remainder of the game. That's one less general to bid for action spots, and one less special ability to aid your campaign. And though these occupying forces are no longer active in the day-to-day workings of your faction, they are a constant presence. They need perpetual upkeep in the form of money and food. In a game where resources are as tight as this one, it's a constant reminder that war is more than a few glorious moments in battle. It's a nation-changing event that takes its toll on everyone. There's even a tribal relations track as recognition to the fact that your war might not play all that well with the neighboring peoples. If you can't tell by now, I really like Three Kingdoms Redux. I really like it. It portrays war in a way that I've never seen before and offers up a tense, tight game to support it. It's hard to believe that this game was put together by a first-time design duo, given its high production values and strong game design. It's a sign of the times that an unknown player in the board game space can make something so good, and a warning shot to the big names that they better not rest on their laurels.